I like to think of the novel as a bottom because it always makes room. And so it is a queer form, ultimately. It can hold the romance, it can hold the lyric, it can hold the essay, it can hold even drama, as Melville proved.
I don't remember reading anything about the bottom in those texts.
that's just my
your contribution.
My contribution. At the end of the day, let that be the final Wikipedia note.
The books were good.
Yeah.
But I think that description will live on long after.
The poetry girlies will want the poem to be the bottom. And I too, I get it.
Like anyone at the beginning of a craft, classmates and teachers recommend books to each other. But there was one that you started reading early on called Writing Fiction, A Guide to Narrative Craft, which you said put you into a weeks-long depression.
Wow, no one's ever asked about that. It was saying things like, your characters need to change. And at one point, I stopped reading when I got to this page where they showed me a visual image of what a good story should be. And it was an inverted check mark. And then it went up like this phallic, like it was just like an erection. And I think ultimately I'm interested not in the phallic eruption, but more so in the literary edging, which is what poetry often is, right? It's like you just enough and then you turn the page, it starts over. Oh, God.
Have we reached the climax of this conversation?
We suppose so.
It's supposed to be the dismount right here. Actually.
Yeah, but I think that's right. I think I was so, but then it made me a better teacher. Because I was like, oh my God, this is what we're giving them.
You said once all students eventually arrive at this cliff where they realize what they've been dreaming to make doesn't exist in the models placed before them.
Yeah. And that's when true innovation happens, because it's terrifying. Every step that feels right to you, everyone says is wrong. And I think it's really important to say that as an Asian American writer. I wrote in the style that I wanted. I wrote in a style that's not exactly trendy, long sentences, deep metaphors, more like a 19th century style than a 20th century. And that's often frowned upon as unrestrained, overwritten. But to me, it's more like literary drag, where drag is often offensive to heteronormative gazes because it's too much. And too much is cheap. My favorite quote by Dolly Parton, she says, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. And I think my literary model might be drag queens and Dolly Parton, but on a more like serious note, like I think these are the privileges of the wealthy. When you have enough space, because I've now been, I do fundraisers and I've been invited to places, and you enter like a few mansions in my time. And then you're like, oh, that's the major distinction of the wealthy, is that the way they live denies the corporeal reality of the body. There's no vitamin containers on the counters. There are servants who give little, hors d'oeuvres. You don't even see the kitchen. There's an entertaining room. There's no brooms. There's no detritus of the corporeal. The bathroom is hidden deep in a hallway. And so, but that aligns with aesthetic values. Like a lot of what tracks and prevails in our culture is elitist aesthetic values. And I think the anxiety, the obsession with minimalism and restraint is that the anxiety is that it's aspirational. It's showing an aesthetic control that society cannot replicate. You can't have income inequality. You can't have income equality. You can't have social justice. So why not have it in interior design, where it looks, everything is balanced, palatable. And so there's a pleasing effect to that style that I haven't thought through it all yet. It's a new thought for me, because my work is mostly informed by the communities I lived in. And, you know, like if you go, my mother would serve a black and brown community at the nail salon. And you look at the nails, these women, they're so proud and sincere and earnest about their beauty. The nails would be extravagant, the church outfits, the hats, overblown sequins, right? It's about showing with pride what you can support for yourself and your family and your communities. And that is my model for the sentence. I don't see that as too much. I see that as power, extravagance, and possibility. And why I was so angry was that I was like inside, I knew there had to be another way, but I didn't know that way.
You didn't know the way of the bottom.
I didn't know. Well, I probably knew more than I thought I did. But I think you're right. I didn't know that I could apply it as a literary ethos.